Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11 tonight. Let's get started. We begin with some breaking news. A 6-month-old baby is safe after a shooting in Airway Heights tonight. That's where we find KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk. And Kyle, what can you tell us about what we know?
Well, Mark, Airway Heights police are investigating this as a double shooting involving a man and a woman. Both are being treated in the hospital right now. That call to 911 came out just around 8 tonight. A woman reported she had been shot in the arm and that the suspect took off with a baby in a red minivan. Airway Heights police located the van, but it wouldn't pull over, so they followed it to Sacred Heart Hospital and detained the man, who also had a gunshot wound. Police say this appears to be domestic violence related. Both adults, again, are in the hospital.
There are no reported suspects at large. The double shooting remains an active investigation. If there are any witnesses, we ask that you call Crime Check so investigators can contact you.
Sacred Heart Hospital was put into a temporary lockdown as that man was detained. Staff are currently caring for the baby, who again was not injured. So right now police are waiting on a search warrant to enter this home. At this point, no arrests have been made, but this investigation is very early and ongoing. Live from Airway Heights, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Now Tonight Beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. In the last 2 weeks, we have seen 4 shootings in the Spokane area, which has brought up safety concerns in the community.
We have amazingly talented detectives and investigators, but ultimately these investigations aren't magic. We need people to talk to us and provide us information.
Data from the Spokane Police Department shows a total of 40 shootings in Spokane so far this year, and that puts us ahead of where we were at this time last year, and that does not reflect the 4 recent shootings. So coming up, we will share why SPD says this is an alarming trend and it needs the community's help to address it. There is now a cash reward for information on the man suspected of shooting a woman at a Spokane Valley motel. The suspect is Joshua W. Seth. He is 30 years old and should be considered armed and dangerous. Crime Stoppers of the Inland Northwest is offering a reward for information that leads to his arrest. Seth is wanted in connection to that shooting at the Red Top Motel back on March 30th. A woman was shot late that morning. She has not yet been identified, but she was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Anyone with any information can call Crime Stoppers at that number right there at the bottom of your screen.
A lot of people will say, hey, you're not hurt, it's okay, but this still hurts, not physically, I'm okay, my body's fine, but emotionally this really sucks.
Cleanup continues today after winds topping 60 miles an hour knocked out power to thousands and sent trees crashing into homes, sheds, cars, and roadways. Thankfully, it wasn't as damaging as previous windstorms, but it certainly brought back memories of previous storms. Coming up in just about 10 minutes, why one Deer Park resident is now reliving a similar experience from last year's windstorm. All right, dog lovers, now is your chance to weigh in on the new dog park being built in Riverfront Park. A survey from the city gives you a chance to give your input on what features are most important to you. Options include items like separate areas for large and small dogs, designated digging areas, dog wash stations, and dog misters or water play features. You can even vote on what kind of surface you would like to see, from pea gravel or grass to synthetic turf or sand. The urban dog park is expected to cost around $750,000 to build. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. Well, if you have any spring break travel plans this week, keep your eye on your flights. Since Friday, thousands of flights have been canceled nationwide, including dozens at SeaTac. The Spokane airport has seen mostly delays, not cancellations, in Alaska Airlines flights. In some cases, the cancellations were because of the weather, but at SeaTac, pilot shortages were to blame. Travel is rebounding, and travel agents say you need to plan ahead. The airports reporting the most cancellations yesterday were flights headed to and from Dallas, Orlando, Boston, and Tampa. New data is out on Oregon's new drug law. Back in 2020, Oregon was the first state to decriminalize possession of small amounts of drugs like meth, LSD, and heroin. Instead of a felony charge, offenders got a maximum $100 fine. The state can even waive that fine if someone opts for a mental health assessment, but the numbers show few people are doing so. Out of about 2,000 people cited, only 92 called the hotline. Authorities say they are surprised, but they also add it is too early to judge the success or failure of decriminalization. Researchers trying to find out how a gray whale died off the coast of Washington. It was found beached on the west side of Camano Island on Friday. The Cascadia Research Collective says the whales seem to be malnourished. It'll remain on the beach to naturally decompose. According to the federal government, in the last 3 years, 259 gray whales have been found dead on beaches in the U.S. This year, there have already been 4 whales stranded on beaches, 3 of those in Washington. Researchers still trying to find out what is causing all these whales to die. Well, the Washington State Patrol is investigating after a Spokane semi-driver was killed in a crash yesterday morning. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to the scene of a semi that had flipped and its brakes then caught on fire. Deputies learned the semi had been driving downhill on McNeil Canyon Road and entered a corner going too fast. The driver was the only person in the truck. He's been identified as 57-year-old Daniel Herberer. WSP is now trying to determine the official cause of that crash. All right, taking a live look at Snoqualmie Pass tonight. You can see still some snow on the side of the road right there. The mountains got hit by a big snowstorm. Now, this is pretty late in the season for a snowstorm. Snoqualmie today saw nearly a foot of snow. Chains are required to go over the pass right now. And if you're planning to take Stevens Pass, just know that traction tires are advised there as well. All right, let's talk weather here locally because it was certainly windy yesterday, not as windy today, but still pretty chilly out there. Let's get straight to meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. And Jeremy, is tomorrow going to be any warmer than today was?
Barely, but it's going to feel much, much warmer. It's one of those ones where it's 4 degrees, but that 4 degrees is going to feel like 10 to 15. I'm telling you, it's just going to. Right now we sit at 36. Temps dropping pretty quick tonight. Factor in that light wind out of the southwest, feels like 26. Ooh. Bundle up. 35 in Coeur d'Alene, 32 in Sandpoint, and temps near 40 out in central Washington. Wind continues to die down this evening. Right now, we sit at 16 miles per hour. That's pretty calm considering, and it continues to die off later on this evening. A few more of those snow showers coming down as you make your way up and over the northern Rockies. Getting a little bit of activity in high elevations in northeastern Washington, but all in all, we start clearing out. In fact, tomorrow, mostly sunny all day long. Mostly sunny and calm wind. Yeah, that's going to have things feeling quite a bit warmer. Thursday will filter in a few more clouds, but all in all, things stay rather warm. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to temps in the 20s. Yes, it's chilly. If you have anything planted outside, go ahead and throw the sheet over it. Your neighbors won't think you're crazy, I promise. And as you get into the day tomorrow afternoon, how about temps in the mid-50s? I'm telling you, 4 degrees, but that 4 degrees is going to feel a lot warmer.
Looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Jeremy. Turning to international news now, Ukrainian officials say they've uncovered more evidence of war crimes committed by Russian soldiers near Kyiv. This comes as they believe hundreds of civilians were tortured and killed before the Kremlin pulled its forces out of the towns and villages around the capital city. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling for Russia's removal from the UN Security Council and said its political and military leaders should face charges. The White House today also said another round of economic sanctions would be unveiled on Wednesday. Those new sanctions are expected to ban all new investment in Russia. And some exciting news for golf fans. Tiger Woods announcing today that he will be playing in this week's Masters tournament. This comes after Woods had been on a hiatus from golf after a car crash last year that nearly resulted in doctors amputating his leg. The 15-time major champion had not competed on the PGA Tour since the November 2020 Masters.
1/3 of those borrowers told us that in preparation of payments resuming in May, they are skimping out on basic needs like food, rent, and healthcare.
The White House is getting ready to extend a pandemic-era freeze on federal student loan payments. That pause on payments had been set to expire on May 1st. Now the White House plans to extend the freeze through August. More than 36 million people have not had to pay their loans since March of 2020, totaling about $195 billion so far. The Student Debt Crisis Center and Savvy surveyed more than 23,000 borrowers and found that 92% of those who are now fully employed are still concerned about making their loan payments. Sacramento police have arrested a second suspect in the shooting that killed 6 people over the weekend. 27-year-old Smiley Martin was arrested today. He was initially taken to the hospital after the shooting with serious injuries, but police identified him as a person of interest. At least 6 people were killed, a dozen hurt when gunfire broke out as bars were closing downtown. Police have also arrested 26-year-old Dondre Martin in connection with the incident. He appeared in court today. Police are searching for other potential shooters as well. All right, don't go to bed just yet. We are taking a closer look at recent shootings across Spokane and what police are saying about this latest increase in violence. Plus, later on in the broadcast, yesterday's windstorm caused a lot of damage around the area. We'll share why one woman says this storm was a bit of deja vu for her. We are back in just 90 seconds.